Welcome to the story behind the hymn with Faye Wheeler. This is Season 2, Episode 8.
This beautiful summer hymn for the beauty of the earth, full of the spirit of field and forest, was written by fayes2e8. We know little about his life. He was born in Bath, England, October 7, 1835. He obtained his education at Queen's College in Cambridge University, graduating with classical honors in 1871. Little is known about him as he moved from place to place, teaching some, writing some, and publishing his poetry. He died in 1917. One thing we do know is that Pierpoint found himself walking in the countryside on a beautiful spring day. He saw the ocean of green, the blue dome of heaven, and the winding Avon River cutting through the flowery landscape. Overwhelmed with God's creative brilliance, he wrote this poem. Pierpoint intended it primarily for common services in the Anglican Church. However, when it crossed the Atlantic, it quickly became associated with the American Thanksgiving holiday. For the Beauty of the Earth is one of only a few poems or songs devoted purely to giving thanks. Pierpoint published several volumes of poems, but his work is best known by this hymn, which appeared in 1864. It has been changed in many lines, but the following is perhaps the best version. Let's give thanks to the Lord as we sing this hymn with Mary Burge leading us.
You are listening to the story behind the hymn with Faye Wheeler. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Night Off the Streets provides a place for homeless to sleep out of the cold. We need your help. I had no intention of volunteering. Then I did, because it needed to be done. The miracle is that I have been more blessed than they. Won't you share a little of your time to give someone a warm place to go overnight?
Welcome back to the story behind the hymn with Faye Wheeler.
Today we are going to have the story of Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing. Robert Robinson had a rough beginning. His father died when he was young, and his mother, unable to control him, sent him to London to learn barbering. What he learned instead was drinking and gang life. When he was 17, he and his friends reportedly visited a fortune teller. Relaxed by alcohol, they laughed as she tried to tell their fortunes. Turning to the young Robert Robinson, the bleary-eyed gypsy fortune teller pointed a quivering finger and said, "And you, young man, you will live to see your children and your grandchildren." Something about the encounter bothered Robert, and that evening he suggested to his buddies they attend the evangelistic meeting being held by George Whitefield. That night, Whitefield preached from Matthew 3:7. "You vipers, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come?" 2 years and 7 months after hearing that sermon, 20-year-old Robert Robinson made his peace with God and found full and free forgiveness through the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Joining the Methodists and feeling the call to preach, the self-taught Robinson was appointed by John Wesley to the Calvinist Methodist Chapel, Norfolk, England, and there, for the celebration of Pentecost in 1758, 3 years after his marvelous conversion, he penned his spiritual autobiography in the words of this hymn, "Come Thou Fount." He passed in the year 1790 at the age of 54.
Perfect.
The lyrics are based on 1 Samuel 7:12, in which the prophet Samuel raises a stone as a monument, saying, "Hitherto hath the Lord helped us," King James Version. The English transliteration of the name that Samuel gives to the stone is Ebenezer, meaning stone of help. When you sing these words, offer them as a personal prayer. Thank you, Mary Burge, for your music.
Thank you for listening to the story behind the hymn with Faye Weaver. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button. Subscribe and ring the bell if you would like notification when this channel has new content. This program is a production of Aunt Betty's Studio, a ministry of First Presbyterian Church, Carson City.